Happy Monday, happy Monday. Hopefully everybody's having a good early start to the week. Hopefully everything is good. And yeah, everything's good on my end, but cannot complain. So far so good. I do realize, man, I have to tone this beard down. I got a straight gray on the side of my face, man. That look kind of bad, ain't it? I'll get it cleaned up for y'all, man. I can't be on camera looking like this. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about something I came across on YouTube that I thought was very interesting and how it applies to my live streams. First and foremost, Retro RGB. I watch his stuff every now and then. And I think he does really good work, but I just don't have the time to watch all of the stuff that he does. You know, I just be doing other stuff, but I do love his videos. With that being said, he had a video out about the M cable, the guy who created the M cable, and the whole history behind it. And I thought it was a fantastic video. It was about an hour and 30 minutes long, and it really explained a lot when it came to the actual functionality of the M cable and the M cable dongle, which I have. Now, this pertains to me a lot. Well, it hits home a lot with me because of my last few live streams. If you haven't watched the Doom 3 live streams, you know, I highly recommend it. I thought it was a great live stream in my opinion, and it was a really good run at the game where we completed it, and I used the mClassic for that live stream. So if you look at Doom 3, that was on the original Xbox in 480p upscaled to 1440p. And to me, I thought it looked absolutely great. But the thing about it is I never really noticed it until I was listening to this this video, or this 101 from Bob from Retro RGB. Now, I've understood that the mClassic is supposed to upscale games, and it does very well when you use it for 6th generation consoles. You know, anything from the GameCube, Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox, even the Xbox 360, the Switch, and the PS3. You know, they benefit from these. You know, I haven't tried it on the Wii or the Wii U, but nevertheless, let's not go too far. But I've noticed sometimes, like, the mClassic would just not work. And sometimes, like, why wouldn't it work? But when I used it for my live stream, it worked pretty well. It was pretty good. No issues, no problems. It actually looks really, really good. And sometimes it would just not work. But then I got the clarification while listening to the video. Basically, you basically have to use this on a 1440p or 4K monitor or TV. And one thing I love about certain monitors and TVs I have, some of them look great at 480p. Like, I have a monitor that looks phenomenal at 480p, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And I'm thinking, well, if it looks good at 480p, maybe I could use this and it'll upscale it even better. Well, those monitors that run at 480p really well are only 1080p monitors or 1080p TVs respectively. And that's why I was looking like, why is this not working? This is a scam. Something's not right. But sometimes I just thought I got lucky and just plugged it up and it worked. Now I'm looking back, I was live streaming on a 1440p monitor. Other times I've used this device, I use it on my 4K television. I even use it on my 4K monitor. And I thought it was great, but for some reason I thought it was going to work across the board. And when I use it on a 1080p monitor or whatever, it just did not work. It was just straight pass through no matter what. It just didn't detect that, I think it was like HDMI 1.4 or higher or something like that. So, I think that's what it was, you know, because the monitors I have are like 1.4, another one's like 2.0, and I think my TV is 2.1. But nevertheless, those work. Now, my regular 1080p monitor, I think that's like HDMI 1.0 or something. I don't know, but nevertheless, you kind of get what I'm saying. The Marseille M cable works just fine, and I've always thought it was just hit or miss, but one thing, the marketing and the advertisement was not the best, and it didn't really tell you. It just told you that, hey, it's going to upscale to 1440p. But to think about it, when you look back, when you really look back and think about it, if you have a 1440p monitor or 4K TV, more than likely you have 1.4 as far as HDMI. But they should have clarified that, because a lot of us, even myself, as much as I love the retro gaming community and I'm a part of it, you don't really put two and two together on a lot of stuff when it comes to this type of stuff, especially when it's something with this type of technology that's fairly, still in some cases still new. So at the end of the day, I love this one-on-one with Bob from Retro RGB and the guy from mCable. I think they have something that basically was ahead of its time, and it's starting to work out in due time, because more people are starting to understand. More people are starting to get 4K TVs. A lot of people are starting to game on stuff outside of the 1080p monitor. Some people are starting to move on to the higher stuff. And even though we love some of these devices as far as monitors and TVs, which, like myself, I think at the end of the day, I need to start getting rid of some of this stuff. I just gonna have to. I have like 7 or 8 monitors and TVs that I have. I mean, I have like 2 CRTs and like 5 different 1080p monitors, 1 4K monitor, 1 4K TV, and I got all this stuff. You know what I mean? So I need to get a move on for some of this stuff, because it's just not. It's really not viable to keep at this point. I think 1080p, especially with this Marseille cable, is kind of starting to be pushed out a little bit. I mean, 1080p is starting to be the new 480p, when 480p was like really, really cool. But now you got all these upscalers, not just the Marseille cable. You still got the RetroTinks, the OSSCs. You got all these other upscalers that are out here that really, you're not even trying to push anything set at 1080p or below at this point. And a lot of people can upscale their stuff to anything higher than 1080p. It's like 1080p is like the floor. It really is. I mean, that's probably like the entry level outside of you having a CRT. So it's really at that point, where this is like more of a acclamation, or just kind of like an epiphany to you can start branching out. If you're not going to use a CRT to play your retro games, you can start branching out and just not even worry about playing games at 720, 1080p, 1440p, because a lot of these games now, they can look really good upscaled on a flat screen TV, even your retro stuff. I mean, outside of, what is that thing called? Those consoles that run at 720p, like those mini consoles, or those the AVS, those type of consoles like that. Yeah, those are still viable, that you can just plug and play and go. But that's really like the floor. Anything up is higher than that. I mean, you don't want to be trying to put a 480p game natively into a flat screen TV. Not anymore, anyway. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it don't look bad, but it can look so much better when you use these other products that are out there. Even something that's rarely, fairly pretty cheap now. You can use like your cheap upscaler and it'll look somewhat, better, or it'll be just as suffice. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I think it's pretty cool. I used the mClassic on my live stream on Doom 3, and this video taught me a lot. It really did, and it's something I should have known, but just something I just don't think about at the end of the day. But it's something that I learned, and now I'm going to start trying to use this, on my PS3, my Xbox 360. I'm going to set those to 720p and see how that will work, if I can get those up to 1440p, and try to work out with the Switch. I'm going to try to use that as well. I mean, it kind of gives me a little bit of a resurgence of using this thing, because I kind of know how to use it now, instead of just saying, okay, this is a hit and miss product. Now I actually know how to use it. So let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get up out of here and get back on this road. It should be dumping my truck in a little bit. And we'll see you on more content really, really soon. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Peace.